Hi, this is Josh from Federal Signal Tech Support. And right now, I'm going to show you how to program Siren Sweep. So how that works is if you press a button or go to a position on the rotary dial, it'll start a sequence of tones, usually starting with wail, then yelp, then high-low. Of course, you can program it however way you want, but this also includes the famous Unitrol Sweep that was featured on our older Unitrol Sirens. And of course, it'll turn off when you turn off the button or go to a different position on the rotary dial. So, without further ado, let's set all this up. So I'm going to show you how to set up on a 17-button keypad and how to set it up on a rotary dial. I'm just going to do tone 1 in that example. Of course, you can use any keypad, but I'm just going to use those two keypads in this example today. So, starting off with the 17 button, we're just going to program it as a button. So I'm going to use B4 in this example, top right. So just go ahead and click that one to select it and go to the properties icon on the top right, which is a gear icon with the arrow coming out. And we'll just rename this Sweep. Simple enough. And then if you want to check on beep enable, you can do that as well. Totally fine. And once we're done there, just go and close this out. And now we need to set up a virtual. So you can use any virtual that is free, not used up. So I'm going to use virtual 2 in this case. And then just go to properties on the top right again. And we'll just rename this Sweep Virtual. So once that is done, we need to change the button type to step. So what that does, each step is its own siren tone. And in this example, we're going to do 4 steps, which is 3 tones and a step off. But we're not going to do a step off unless we turn off the button, of course. And then we need to check on double press to stop steps. And what that does is that ensures that the sweep keeps repeating. After the 3 tones are done, I'll just go back to step 1. I'll just repeat the process over and over again until the button turns off or the rotary dial turns off. And then we need to check on auto advanced steps. Now, in this example, I'm going to use 3 seconds, which is around the time Unitrol Sweep advances to the next tone, which is also enough time for the tone to play. But you could do any value you want. But in this example, we're just going to use 3 seconds. So just close this out here. And now let's set up our tones on each step. So right now we're on step 1. So we're going to try and replicate Unitrol Sweep. So let's start with channel 1. We'll just do Unitrol Wail. Same thing with channel 2, Unitrol Wail. And then step 2, Unitrol Yelp. And then step 3 will be Unitrol Ultra High-Low. And step off should automatically be tone off. So we are good there. Then we go to system on the top, and then priority settings. Always make sure IGN or ignition is at the #1 spot. And that sweep virtual is above sweep. Now, of course, if you want park to kill these functions, just drag park above it, so that way it will not work while you're in park. But if you do want to work in park, just drag it below, like this. So we're good there. Now let's go back to our sweep button. And we need to turn it on somehow, so we need to go to remote activation. And then for the sweep virtual, have it moves to step 1 for on position. And then we need to go to the off position for that button. And we just have it toggles off. So basically, that sweep virtual will be activated by the sweep button. And since we have auto advance and we have double press the stop steps, it's just going to keep going in an endless loop until you turn off the button. And that's pretty much it. And then you just go to device on the top, and then program device to dump the updated configuration into the amplifier. Okay, so now we're going to set it up on a rotary dial keypad, which is practically very similar on how we set it up on the 17 button keypad. So I just wanted to show you how to do it on this one so you have all the examples here. So in this example, we're going to use tone 1. Of course, you could do tone 2, whatever you prefer. And then we just go to properties on the top right. And we just rename this sweep. And then if you want to check on beep enable, that is fine. Close this out. Now we just go ahead and find a free virtual that you're not using. I'm just going to use virtual 2 here. Go back to properties. We'll rename this sweep virtual. We'll change the type to a step. And the number of steps, we will do 4 steps because we'll have 3 tones and a step off. Of course, you can do how many steps you want. And then we need to check on double press to stop steps, so just keep going. And then do auto advance for 3 seconds in this example, like we did before. So we should be good here. Just close this out. And then we set up our tones on each step. So step 1, Unitrol whale. Step 2, Unitrol yelp. And then lastly, step 3, Unitrol ultra high low. And then step off, you don't have to worry about because it's already set for tone off. We go to system on the top, then priority settings. Make sure ignition is always number 1, IGN. And the sweep virtual is above the sweep on the rotary dial. And if you want park to kill it, you drag it above the sweep virtual and sweep. If you do not want park to kill it, you drag park below the sweep virtual and the sweep. Like so. Now we go back to our sweep on the rotary dial. Just click that. And the on position should be red. Go to the remote activation tab. And then for the sweep virtual here, just have it moves to step 1. And then for the off position, it should turn blue. Have it toggles off. And now you know how to do it on a rotary dial keypad. And of course, after you're done, just click device on the top and then program device to update the configuration to the amp. So that is how you set up Siren Sweep, Unitrol Sweep, however you want to call it. Pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, feel free to call our tech support line at 1-800-433-9132, option 1. Or if you prefer, you can always send us an email at fstechsupport@fed.com. SIG.com. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.